Hello traders, hello everyone, my name is Grega and welcome to our new update surfing the Elliott Waves, where I will look at some of the most interesting developments for this week. This video has been brought to you by Orbex. I will look at the Bitcoin, dollar yen, cable euro, DAX and dollar Mexican peso. So I want to start this session with the Bitcoin. As you know, this market has been moving sharply to the downside in the last few sessions, and there are a lot of traders, speculators who are confused or not really sure what is going on. So actually, it's all linked to FTX and Binance. The FTX is the exchange, and the FTX has the FTT token, in which was very popular among the investors, especially on that exchange. So what happened is actually Binance, who owned this token, said on Sunday that they will liquidate their holdings of the FTT token. So when this happened, obviously a lot of fear was spread among the investors, and obviously this caused a very sharp drop on price, and there was liquidity issues with the FTX because there were a lot of withdrawal requests. Later on, after a sharp drop, the Binance came back in and said that actually they want to help the FTX and help other exchanges to provide this liquidity. So this is obviously not only the FTX, FTT Binance story. It's all linked, as you know. If there is a massive fear on cryptocurrencies, I mean, just remember the Luna story, then everything will somehow move in the same direction. So it's not a surprise to see a very nice drop here on Bitcoin. Now looking at the higher degree charts, well, it's still a very nice and strong drop, an ABC formation. We are still holding and moving into this zone, the support zone here, 12k to 18k. So of course there is this region which, in my opinion, could be from where we could see our now very nice reversal, let's say, in the months ahead. But of course, for major cycles to change, there is a lot of time is required for bottoms or top to be formed. So it's very tricky to say when exactly this will happen. Now, looking at this structure from a little bit closer price action, well, I still think that this, as I said, could be a free wave drop. Notice that this consolidation, the recent one, can even be a wave 4 of the same degree, so it can be even a 5-wave drop. Unfortunately, this price action is not really clear, but what's most important is that I believe that in either case we are moving into these late stages of this of the current drop, especially though if we look at the structure from 2022 March highs. So I think the support may not be far away. Ideally here on the 4-hour time frame, we are going to see an ending diagonal here. So we are testing those lows, not really breaking through just yet. If we will stay consolidating here, then I think that this ending diagonal really has a chance, because then I would be looking for the next rally to be wave 4 and then wave 5 to the downside. So overall, of course, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies in general are not looking good at the moment. But tomorrow we have the US CPI. Now the US CPI data, this will be very important to track. Remember that of course this will depend what the Fed may do in the next meetings. There is already speculation there will be on the next decisions there will be only 50% increase on hikes, or maybe even less at the start of 2023. So if they're approaching their rate target, it means that obviously they want to see that inflation will finally come to the downside. So tomorrow data will be very important, and if CPI would come down, this means that actually US yields could also come down a bit, and this could be bearish for the US dollar. Okay, so looking at the dollar yen, well, I see it trading here, reversing from this very important resistance. I think that this could be end of this 5-wave cycle, but for now, looking at the 4-hour chart, I'm just looking also at the potential ABC drop. So this still could be a counter trend movement. We are not really in a wave C at new lows yet, but even if this is a wave C, meaning that at some point this lag will see limited weakness, well, there is still room for some serious drop here, because notice that wave C equals to wave A here at around 142. So even if this would be a counter trend movement, there could be limited downside. Also, I always try to go with minimum expectations rather than calling a major reversal for a break into wave 3 of a 5 wave impulse or something like that. So we still have to keep in mind that no matter how I look on a higher degree time frame charts, it's still an uptrend, and the counter trend movement for now can be only in 3 waves. So that's something that we have to consider whenever we will be trading potentially around 142 level. So in the short term, I think that there is chance for more weakness, and as I said, if the US yields would come lower after CPI tomorrow, then I think the dollar yen has a chance for a drop. Now let's take a look also on cable. Now cable is making some very nice bounce here after this very massive decline to new all-time lows. We have seen a very nice reversal, now trading back above this trend line. To show in the big picture what is this trend line, it's actually connected here from this from 2009 lows. It was retested a few times, and always we have seen a very nice reversal higher. So far something similar is going on. We are already trying to break and put the price back above this 2020 highs, sorry, lows. So I'm thinking about more upside, especially if we also look at the 4-hour chart here. We can have very nice 5 waves up, some resistance here when this capitulations actually was a starting point of that capitulation back in September. So market recovered quite well. It completely erased the previous losses of this capitulation. So it means that bottom can be forming here. But of course, we will not see any aggressive move to the upside. We should be aware of something more neutral, more sideways. So I'm thinking about 5 waves up and now ABC correction. Now wave B could be part of an irregular correction, meaning that we can still even retest 1735 before we initially see this drop into wave C. So generally speaking, I think that we reached important low here and we could be trading higher, but very nice support is still a little bit lower. If suddenly we go, let's say, much higher above 1.2 level, then I think that correction is already finished, and then that's when I would focus on some intraday pullbacks to catch maybe the long side. Now let's take a look on the euro dollar. Now euro dollar is having this, can be counted a drop in 5 waves. That's a weekly chart. Let me look here on this daily chart, and notice that there is okay, notice that there is a very nice 5-wave drop, but so far the recovery is not really impulsive yet. It could become impulsive later on, but I really have to be careful here when predicting too long into the future, especially since this could easily be correction, because price action itself, it's very slow, even overlapping, and you have former wave 4 here. So if you want to see a bottom formation, you definitely want to see the previous 4th wave resistances broken, and you can see that there is a massive resistance at 102 to 104 level, 340 I should say. So that secure resistance could be limited upside for a wave 4. But looking at the 4-hour chart here, I think that there is room for slightly more upside since we are trading in this wave C. So maybe after the next pullback we could continue higher towards 102 level. But as I said earlier, CPI data will be very important. Maybe this market will just be now sideways here, trying to even retest potentially parity on the next pullback ahead of the important data. Now let's take a look also on the German DAX. Now German DAX is coming higher and it's breaking this trend line connected from 2022 highs. Normally this is indication that bearish moves are over. However, the S&P 500 US stocks in general are not that strong, probably because there is a thin trading conditions due to the US midterm elections. But we will see if maybe after this will calm down, after we get the CPI data tomorrow. Let's see if maybe stocks could recover in the US. That would be certainly the case. Then all risk on could be back, and this could also suggest the dollar will have room for further decline within the current correction. So here we are seeing the breakout. I have to respect what is going on rather than fighting this move. So I will be watching the next pullback as a potentially part of a recovery. Looking at the 4-hour chart, notice that I'm tracking very nice extended lag here. Ideally, that's a wave 3. You have a very important 261.8 and 2% extensions of wave 1. So, and of wave 2. So watch out for potential temporary resistance here as we approach 14,000 maybe. There was also important swing high back from summer of this year here at this range as well. So watch out, maybe limited upside, but generally speaking, this trend appears to be headed back to the upside, back in bullish mode. So I think that buying dips could be the look for this market. Okay, now the first support obviously is at former high here, since we broke above that 13,440. Then you have a little bit deeper one at 13,000, very nice key swing support level round figure here as well. Now I also have another alternate count here. This one shows a potential flat formation, but even this one suggests that there can be room for further upside here if it's wave C, because wave C can move into territory of the previous wave A. So even this one may have room for more upside here on pullbacks. And finally, let's take a look on dollar Mexican peso. So I've been tracking dollar Mexican peso for a while. As you know, we've been looking for this triangle. Finally, we have some very nice, interesting price action. Not breaking below this horizontal support at 1940 yet. We have rate decision from the Mexico tomorrow, so this will probably define what will happen next, if the breakout is going to be for real or will keep consolidating. But looking at the 4-hour chart, so far this appears to be very promising in my opinion. And this is wave 1, wave 2, very nice and sharp drop here into wave 3, I believe. So this wave 3 could reach lower prices after the current recovery. The current recovery could stop at the 38.2% of this wave 3, which is usually the case. So this comes in also at this upper trend line of this channel. So watch out for this potential resistance to be retested before sell-off continues. If we rally back above 1980, then obviously I will have to adjust the wave count, and unfortunately then we will most likely remain in this consolidation, in this mess here. Okay. Okay, traders, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and talk to you soon. Bye.